one of the things that was quite amazing is that, do you know the person who actually had that tear gas? There were two, and one had handcuffs. These are things that only police officers have. Our suspicion is that these were officers in plain clothes. The young people went and found these people. Of course, waliwasalimia kidogo. And if it wasn't for Babu Owino, because he was the one on the mic, those two gentlemen would have been killed. Because Babu told them, no, stop beating them. They were severely beaten. So when somebody says that I arranged my own tear gassing, then the young people caught my person who was supposed to tear gas me, giving him a beating like a dog, almost killing him. What sort of logic is that when Kipchumba Murkomen speaks?
Like that,
Number two, Latif. All these devices, by the way, have serial numbers. And the general population, like an ordinary citizen like myself, has no way of accessing those things. We want IPOA. I wish that IPOA was empowered enough to be able to do some of these investigations. It is possible to get those fragments of those tear gas canisters and be able to trace which police officer, which police station those things came from. But I want to just send a general warning, two warnings actually. Number one, to the people who are being used to disrupt other people's political rallies. It is very dangerous for you. You can actually be killed. If it wasn't for us saving the lives of those two young people who had handcuffs and the tear gas, they would have been killed there. Number two, I want to warn the state that it is going to take more than tear gas now to stop the voice and the movement of the people. They have to try something else. Let them try bees from wherever it is they can get bees or something like that. But it is not going to be possible. The young people of Malemba coined a msemo on Saturday that kutupwa kwa tiaga sio mwisho wa mkutano. So let it be known that it will no longer be possible to stop people's movements using these things.
It will not. It be unstoppable.
It is unstoppable.
There's a question that Mariam asked Abizuena yesterday.
Yes.
With regarding that incident. And just in response to what Kipchumba and others are saying, that you may be knowing who were the perpetrators of this so-called violence, as they say it. So this incident, now that you had the person who was suspected to have been involved in lobbing the tear gas within your custody, did you take them to hospital or to the police? Did you report this to the police? Did you or your members of your team report it to the police? Because walizima yo kitu, did they take the canister and also accompany that?
But you are putting the responsibility on the wrong people. First of all, it is the responsibility of the police to protect those meetings. I shared a communication, the notification to the police that was done days in advance, to the regional commander in Kakamega, and I was very surprised that I saw the same gentleman on TV saying that he was not aware of any meeting. Number two, when this gentleman, actually the person who detonated that tear gas canister, there were two of them, and they had handcuffs. You saw them. The videos are there. They were put on a dais, and we actually told the people who were there, the local organizers, to take them to hospital. Now, I personally have not followed up to understand if they were taken to hospital or not. But the sort of injuries that I saw on that gentleman's head, I am sure he's in a hospital somewhere. So, unless he wants to die, he has to be in a hospital somewhere. But most critically, Mariam, you know, some of us are like proper students of Raila. One of the things Raila used to tell us, that we are not going to be crybabies, you know? Why am I going to report to the police who tear-gassed me that there was somebody who was tear-gassing me?
It's not to be a crybaby. It's for an accountability thread.
There is not going to be any accountability until we have a government that is actually accountable.
Because then I can ask Kipchumba Murkomen, these people, Walinda Monanchi, made a report at this police station. They said they had a tear gas canister with a serial number S blah 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 blah. What have you done? Have you followed up? What police station did it come from? Who was seconded there? Who is the OCPD, and so on and so forth?
Right, when you said Mimi ndio Sifuna, they've said Sisi ndio Sifuna. And sort of it brings in this whole new wave and expectation. Do you feel the weight of this moment?
Actually, I have been amazed by the outpouring of support from Kenyans of all walks of life. And I take this opportunity to thank them that it gives great comfort to know that you are not alone. And it gives me great comfort to know that even if something were to happen to me, somehow they were able to tame my tongue or derail me. There are other Sifunas out there. It cannot be about an individual. In fact, I have always argued, Latif, and these are conversations we've had with you, that this country is going to change not because of one individual, but building critical mass. You have to have people across the country who believe that things need to be done differently. You see, the problem with one of the problems with democracy is that you have a limited time in office. You have, if God grants you the graces, you have a maximum of 10 years. You do 2 terms and you have to leave. The unfortunate thing about that is that if you don't have critical mass of people who believe and think in the same philosophy, you will have one stellar president. For instance, when we had Kibaki and the economy was doing great, then the next time you elect people who believe in a totally different philosophy, and then you find the country stagnating. So across the entire country, I want to encourage young people to participate in politics, to show up, to offer themselves for office, from MCA positions to the Senate positions to the members of Parliament, all these positions. Nobody should threaten you that it takes rocket science or that some magic that they're telling us we don't have money, we don't have whatever it is. But it's a different time, I believe, Eric, and I think what Kenyans are looking for is the message and the vision that this country can actually be different. When you read all these stories, and including the ones that you've just read this morning, it is quite depressing, and you can feel the yearning in the country for a different way of doing things. And it's not that people don't want, for instance, development, but when you read about a stadium being built, anybody can build a stadium. Moi is the one who built us Kasarani. But if you ask a majority of Kenyans, they don't want to go back to the life under Moi. This Talanta Stadium is being built. I mean, nobody can deny that there is a stadium there. It is a fantastic facility. But can it be built in accordance with the constitution and in accordance with the law? That is what Kenyans are yearning for. So I have felt the love, I have felt the support, but I really pray that they don't make this thing about Sifuna, because one of the things I keep reminding people is that we are deeply flawed human beings. We are not perfect. I mean, we are not perfect. In fact, one of the women in my mother's Kikundi, that Kikundi for Catholics, St. Anthony's, that meet on Sunday, she called me and she said she was very disappointed in some of my utterances in Kakamega after the tear gas was fired. But tear gas has a way of my son, hiyo maneno nakwambia, unajua ukipigwa tear gas haujuangi hata saa ile machozi natoka, makamasi natoka, mambo ingine, you might shout one profanity or another. But we want to remind them that even with our shortcomings, I think we are focused and we are determined to be able to deliver a different Kenya than the one that we have.
So you're saying let them not make it about Sifuna? No,
it can't be.
So when you hear people saying Sisi ndio Sifuna, what's your interpretation of that?
I think they're identifying with a message. They're identifying with some of my trials and tribulations. You know what has been happening in the party. And I hope for the sake of the country, they agree that things can be done differently from the way that they're doing it. But I have been overwhelmed. I'm telling you, Latif, even from the support from some of my colleagues in the party, in the National Assembly, in the Senate, the people showing up to our meetings, because Baba used to tell us that the people are a leader's safety. For as long as where you are, the people are, then you are in the right place. And let the people themselves be the ones to guide you on what you need to do. So I just say thanks. I will try my best, and the entire Linda Mwananchi team, not to let anybody down, to remain focused, to be able to put in place a proper message for the country and paint a picture. Because one of the things that we appreciate as leadership is that we have a responsibility to also explain ourselves, explain our actions, explain our vision. We can't just be saying things. We need to show up for Kenyans, Yesterday there was a young lady I saw on this show that I actually met her on TikTok.
Abby.
Yes, and she's been fantastic, and she said a few things here. One of the conversations we've had with them is that all of us who are saying Ruto must go must be available to go him. You must be when the going you must be ready to go him.
Yep.
So all of us must answer the call because we can hear it across the country that people are yearning for different leadership in the country.
Ati black chocolate ni fine melanin bana toka nikapate kanapenda kenye mi wanapenda so kanapenda toto chupa na haga nono
madam na kudai umedunga mini na unapenda mangwai una dance fit unawacha nikismile ama niko high jua life nice